Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. For those of you who are new to me, I am Rupy. It's so nice to meet you. I am a lover of all things makeup, particularly eyeshadows and blush, and you'll see me do a ton of different types of stuff over here. I like doing reviews, but I'm trying to not do reviews because I'm buying way too much, you guys. But today we are doing a review. Today we're doing a review of the new Huda Glowish powder and the blushes. I picked up 2 blushes and 1 powder. I'm already wearing it on my face. I'm gonna save my thoughts for the end. You're gonna find out very shortly, okay? So I just wanna tell you a little bit about the products and then we'll jump right into the actual demo and me showing you what it looks like up close and personal. The powder. The powder is a pressed powder formula. It's supposed to be a luminous powder, so it's supposed to give you this really beautiful glow, which you can definitely see on my face. I will say I tried using it Huda's way, and the one sneak peek thing I will tell you is, as you can see, I have a little bit of hard pan, so it doesn't love water. But it seems to be picking up. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But it is a very smooth formula. If you go in and, you know, just rub your fingers in, you can see that I do pick some up. There's some on my middle finger here. And if I do swatch it for you, I'll do it kind of over my scars so you can see what kind of coverage it gives. But there. So it did cover some of those. So it is pretty decent coverage. I will say the shade of this one is a little bit on the yellow side. I picked up the shade 05 Medium, which I'm kind of regretting now because I should have looked at my Glowish skin tint, which I picked up in the shade 04 Light Medium. I actually originally had this in shade 5 and I had to go return it and get a shade down because it was just a little too orange on me because it was too deep. But the powder kind of ended up with a darker color than I wanted. So I don't know how returns will work, so we'll see. In this you do get 10 grams of product, which is a lot. And now if you remember with the bronzer you got 8 grams of product, so you're getting a little bit more of the powder. This also, just like this, is made in Italy, which, you know, we love our powder formulas from Italy, so it does feel really nice and really luxurious. Is it my favorite thing? You'll find out in a bit. So I'm actually wearing just this on one side of my face, and on the other side of my face I'm wearing the Glowish skin tint with this kind of dusted over top. So I don't know if you want to try to guess right now what side has what on it. You can leave it down in the comments below, but I mean you'll see soon enough what's on what side. So the coverage of this is supposed to be fairly light. It has Damascus rose oil in it, which is supposed to soothe, clarify, and lock in extreme moisture. So that to me says, okay, this is a powder that's supposed to work great on dry skin. Well, hello, I have dry skin, more normal, but still kind of dry. So I really wanted to try it. It also contains vitamin E and red bell pepper extract. Now, something interesting, I was watching Huda's video of her demoing this as well as the blushes on her IGTV, and she talked about kind of the packaging. So one of the things is the packaging is PCR, which is post-consumer recycled packaging, so it's made out of recycled materials, which I think is great. The blushes, however, are only 30% PCR, and I think that is because of the lid. I think that for it to be PCR, it might have to be see-through like this, and the lid is not. It's quite opaque, and it also has a mirror in it. So I'm wondering that is why this is only 30% PCR compared to the powder and the bronzer being fully PCR material. So I think it's really cool that they're trying to be sustainable. So speaking on sustainability, Huda was talking about in her video how the red peppers that they use are the ugly red peppers. And by ugly red peppers, they just mean red peppers that don't look perfect, that people normally would not pick up at a store because it's, you know, not the right shape. It doesn't look pretty. It doesn't look appealing to the eye. And they're still, you know, good to eat and everything, and those just end up getting tossed and go to waste. And so I thought it was really interesting that they take those ugly red bell peppers and they put them in their products, or at least the extract of them. So it's good to know that those products are getting used and that food is not going to complete waste, which actually kind of made me really sad that people are not eating ugly red peppers because they just don't look like pretty ones. Like, guys, it's food. It ends up chopped up in your belly either way, so don't be discriminatory towards your red bell peppers, okay? So the powder retails for $39 US or 42 Canadian dollars. So the blush is actually the same exact formula as the bronzer, and you'll see that it's also kind of marbled the same way. So this shade is the shade Berry Juicy, so it's the deepest shade. I don't have a kind of berry toned blush, I don't think. I probably do, but I wanted to try something different. So I've got that on one side, and then I've got this one on the other side, and this is Caring Coral, and this is stunning. You guys know I love a good peachy coral blush. I figured that the Healthy Peach was going to be a little bit too light for my skin tone, so I went with these two. And yeah, I'm super excited to, you know, let you know about these blushes. Do they live up to the hype of the bronzer? Because you guys know I've been using this bronzer since July-ish, August, I don't know, for a couple months now, and I've been loving it. I've used this quite a bit. It doesn't even seem like it's going anywhere because when the brush picks it up, I feel like it barely picks it up, but it puts enough on the face. So, and these blushes retail for $21 US or 27 Canadian each. They are tiny, I will say. They are quite tiny. If I were to just compare them to another blush, let me pull one out. Okay, I feel like everyone knows what size a MAC blush is. So there is the MAC blush and there is the Huda. Like, it's quite a difference. So in this one, you're getting 2.5 grams of product, and the MAC one gets you 6 grams. So it's quite a big difference. And for 2.5 grams of product, I feel like this is kind of a pricey blush. But I mean, like, it makes sense at the same time, because how much are you really gonna need to put on your cheeks? But just look how tiny it is next to my face. And like those dots of blush you put on your face when you're like cartoons or whatever. Not when you're a cartoon, you know what I mean. Anyways, so Huda actually applied the powder on her face in that video with her damp beauty sponge. This is the basic B sponge from Huda Beauty, and you can see it has that little slant to it. So what I did was I actually dampened this just like she did, and then I went in, and that's why we have hard pan in there, but that is on one side of my face. And so you'll see, and it was just in swiping motions, but you'll see that during the demo. But I'm gonna quickly swatch the blushes for you. The blushes do have that same nice texture as the bronzer. If you haven't seen my video reviewing the bronzer and the Glowish tint, I think I did it alongside the what is it called? The Patrick Ta palette. I will link that in the iCards for you. So that is the Caring Coral, and here is the Berry Juicy. So it's a pretty smooth swatch compared to other blushes. I feel like those have quite a bit of pigment. They are quite radiant. I'm super excited to share my thoughts with you about these new products from the Huda Glowish line, because I've been loving their original launch so much. So let's just jump right in and let's get into the demo. All right, you guys, so we're gonna go in with just the powder first. So here's the shade I got. Hopefully it's gonna be a match. I don't know. I'm like light to medium, but I don't know. I bought this in light medium, and I got this in medium, and now I'm kind of like, maybe I should have gone a shade down. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it might be a match. So I am going to take the basic B sponge from Huda Beauty. This one actually, if you purchased, I think, a certain amount of Glowish products, you got this for free. So I did get this one for free. It did expand quite a bit. It was a lot smaller than this, I would say. It maybe almost doubled in size, so that's pretty good to see. I'm gonna take the powder on at the slanted edge. I just want to see how opaque that is. Ooh. Is that gonna hard pan? I hope not. Because my sponge is a little bit damp. She did use it damp, so I don't know. Okay. We're gonna try this all over the face just as like powder foundation. I don't typically wear powder foundation because I'm on the more like normal to dry side. All I'm wearing on my face is a little bit of moisturizer and a little bit of the vitamin C glow primer from Smashbox, just to like see how that does. So she does like these swiping motions. I don't know, can we even tell that that's on my skin? I feel like this is gonna hard pan the powder. Like I'm already seeing it hard pan, but it's, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's try. I mean, it's covering. It is definitely covering. It's definitely not full coverage. You can still see a little bit of my veining, but I'm just scared because the sponge is damp, even though it's not like, but it's picking up powder, so maybe not. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do this all over the face, I think, or no, should we do half the face? Maybe let's do half and then we can compare and see what the other side will look like when I put the actual Glowish on. But do you see, like, I'm getting a little bit of hard pan there? I think it's hard pan, you guys. Uh-oh. I probably ruined it. That's okay. Trying it for you guys. I mean, it is luminous, that's for sure. Okay, let's do the chin. Okay. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna see if I can layer on a little bit more coverage in this area just to see. I don't think I would even recommend this for dry skin, but I just wanted to see, you know, just for science. Okay, so you can definitely see it did bring a glow to my face. I don't have a lot of issues with pores, and also I did not use like a pore filling primer, so I don't see it like accentuating pores, but I have a little bit of texture on my face that I feel like is getting accentuated. Now what I'm gonna do on this side, just to keep it a little bit different, I want to try it over top of the Glowish. So I'm actually going to put the Glowish all over my face, or not all over my face, but like on this half of my face. And then we're going to put the powder over. It is kind of looking weird here though. I'll show you. I'll show you in just a moment. Okay, I'm taking this e.l.f. airbrush brush. I don't know what it's called. Is it numbered? 105? It's like an airbrush brush with like, I don't know. I really like this for foundation or cream products. So I'm gonna put this all over my face. I'm just using whatever I got in that one pump. So we're gonna use that. I really like this product because it provides a nice glow, but it's like a healthy glow, kind of like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter, but with like, I feel like this almost gives me slightly more coverage. Oh, I'm not liking the powder side now that I'm looking at it. Ooh, yeah, At first, I didn't think it looked terrible, but I feel like, nope, it's also a little bit dark. But I think if I put it on in a sheer coat, it would not be so bad. Okay, so there it is, just the Glowish, and I'm gonna now put the powder on my face. Okay, let's try going in with the brush. I'm gonna use this one. It's the BK 104. I really like this powder brush. I'm gonna go in with the brush and see how this does. Okay, so it is dusting up similarly to the, but I do have that hard pen in the middle. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, I definitely should have gone, I think, a shade down for sure. It's not a terrible match, but I feel like it's just, I mean, it'll work out in the summer, so that's okay. And I could probably use it like on the parameters of my face. Okay, let me show you a close-up if I can. Okay, I'm turning down my lights like pretty much completely. So this side is the side, ignore I haven't like dermaplaned or shaved my face or whatever, but yeah, that's the Huda Glowish. And then this is just the powder side. I mean, maybe on camera it doesn't look completely different. Can you tell? I feel like you can tell. Like I feel like right here, it's like super accentuated. Whereas here it's like not as bad. And when I'm looking in the mirror, yeah, this right here, this section, let me see. Right there. This section right here is really accentuated, whereas on this side, I'm not having that same issue. So yeah, I literally, my face on this side, you guys, looks old and cakey. I do not recommend this for all over the face. And I feel like, I mean, I tried it. I'm normal to dry, more on the normal side now. While the glow is nice, I would rather just achieve that from getting it from my highlighter. So it's a no for me. It's a no for me. I would much rather use it as this. But even then, I mean, I would probably use it in like certain parts of my face. Like, I feel like I'd use it on my forehead and maybe right here. I don't know that I want to powder my nose with it so much, because damn. This side, I look like the golden, like I was gonna say the Tin Man, but the Tin Man is obviously tin, but you know, spray paint me gold and that's what you get. This side, I feel like looks a lot more natural, so I would definitely go this route. I think this powder would do beautifully over a matte foundation. All right, let me turn the lights back to normal and let's go in and do the blush. Okay, so I did actually just go in with a little bit of my Glowish bronzer. Mine's in the shade 03 Tan. This is probably out of the entire line so far my favorite product. I love how it goes on over any complexion product. I do like the Glowish tint, but I prefer this a lot more in the summer. I feel like in the winter it's just a little bit too much, and I probably want something not as like, this just has like that Charlotte Tilbury highlighter glow in it. I want like the serum-y foundation now, but without the glow. Oh, hi. Apollo has decided to join me here. Can you sit down, please? Okay, and then I picked up the two blushes. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put one on each cheek just so we can test out the color. And I think I'm gonna use this brush. It's dirty on the one side, but I did try to clean it off as much as I can. This is the Unit 301 brush. I've been testing these out. They are synthetic. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with the Caring Coral shade on this side here, because I feel like the finish of the complexion is a lot lighter. So it picks up quite a bit of pigment. I'm gonna tap some of that off. And we're just gonna tap that on. That's really pretty. Okay, so I just want to see if it's buildable, because that still for me is quite light. And that's why I didn't get the lightest shade, which was Healthy Peach, because I didn't think it was gonna build on my skin tone. Oh yeah, that's perfect. But it's also still quite a like natural blush. I'm gonna go in with one more because you guys know I like my blush quite heavy. Oh yeah, I like that. That is a ruby blush, if anything. Beautiful. There we go. You can see it right there. That's a really, really pretty shade. So you can tell quite the difference, I feel like. So I would say on my skin tone, I like this in 3 layers. If you're lighter than me, I feel like you're only gonna like it in 1 layer, maybe, if that. I think this is suitable for light skin tones. My only concern is I don't know how this is gonna work on deeper skin tones. I don't know if it's gonna be as easily buildable. but there is this deep shade. So we're gonna try this out, and I'm gonna go in with a lighter hand because I feel like this one's gonna be very pigmented. And I'm going on the other side. This is the, what are you called? Berry juice. This is berry juice. And just taking that on the brush, tapping off. And I'm just gonna kind of, I know Huda said she likes to like swipe it on, but I don't know that I wanna do that because I feel like, I don't know if that's my personal preference in applying blush. Okay, let's go in with a bit more. Should we try her swiping method? I mean, it's not terrible. Her brush was also slightly different. Shape of it was similar to this, but I think this one's just longer haired, and so it packs on much more loosely. That's a really pretty shade. This is gonna look so good in the winter. So you can see this one's just a little slightly cool toned compared to this one. I decided to go with one of each just because it would then give me a little bit of difference in the blushes that I bought. Oh, this is so pretty. I like that. Normally I don't like berry blushes on my skin tone, but I was really intrigued to try this one out, and I think it was more so just because of the marbling in this, but that is really pretty. I do love the coral though. That's my favorite. Really, really pretty. I'm just gonna take whatever's mixed on my brush here from the peachy side. I'm just gonna tap a little on my nose, and that's about it. Okay, I'm gonna turn down the lights and show you guys. So this is the Huda Glowish side, or the Glowish skin tint side with the powder and the bronzer and blush. And then this is the powdered side, packed on powder only with the bronzer and the blush. I don't know, can you guys tell the difference? I feel like this side looks so bad. It just, skin accentuation right here is insane, whereas here you cannot see a thing, so a little bit annoyed by that. But let's zoom out and talk about my thoughts. All right, you guys, there you have it. There is the demo. That is what it looks like. So on this side, I've got just the powder, which looks ridiculous. And then on this side, I have the Huda Glowish foundation skin tint with a light dusting of the powder over. And I'm wearing the Caring Coral on this side, along with the Berry Juicy blush on this side. I love both of the blushes. I'm just not sure how I feel about the powder. Obviously, I'm still wearing the bronzer too, and the bronzer is one of my favorites. So the bronzer and the blush, hands down, my favorite pieces from the Glowish line. I think they're the best. The sponge is pretty nice. I don't mind the sponge so much. I don't think that I would use it to do the powder thing, but I like it. I'll use this with my other foundations. As for the powder, I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like I'm gonna have to play around with it a little bit more. I'm kind of annoyed that I did it the way that Huda, suggested, and you can see I have that hard pan bit in there. I mean, I feel like it might go away. It's picking up powder when I go over it like this, so I don't know. But it just doesn't look pretty anymore, and that kind of bugs me just a little, Maybe I'll have to scrape it, I don't know. I just don't want it to look terrible. But I think that the powder's just a little too much on its own. I really don't recommend wearing it by itself. I have so much, I don't even have bad texture issues, you guys, and I have so much texture going on right here, right now. It's ridiculous. This side is fine because this side I used the skin tint and then I put a light dusting of the powder over, but this side, oh my God, my nose on this side looks so bad. It's so bad. Unless you have perfect skin, I don't recommend it. I really don't. My forehead texture is terrible. Here is not so bad. Where my blush is, it's not so bad. I feel like the blush kind of airbrushed that whole feeling, but yeah. Other than that, not for me. But I should have known better, you guys. I don't love powders, but I wouldn't mind this on top of a really matte foundation. I just feel like on top of this, it's okay. It's not terrible on its own. I'm not a fan of just a powder foundation. I mean, I would never use it that way regardless. That's not how I would ever intend to use a powder product. But I really just wanted to demo it for you guys side by side so that you could see a comparison. And I don't think I had seen anyone do it over the Huda Glowish. So I just wanted to show you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to know what the eye makeup is, you can check it out over on my Instagram. It is on my stories for the next 24 hours, but I am going to create a highlight as with this palette. Someone wanted to see like some of the lighter tones used, and so I kind of have my thoughts about it on there. Sneak peek, I guess, not my favorite. Anyways, that is all for this video, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know, did you pick up any of these products? Are you going to pick up any of these products? If I can make any recommendations to you, if you're thinking about picking this up maybe in the upcoming VIB sale, if you can find your shade in the bronzer, because I feel like the bronzer shades are kind of limited. They are a little bit red tone leaning. I do really like the 03 tan light because I feel like it's probably more neutral on my skin tone at least. I do really like this one. But I do recommend the blushes. I think the blushes are excellent. The formula is excellent. If you can get it in the extra 20% off, like, that's a steal. I really do love the Caring Coral shade, but I think the Blushing Berry is just so different. Absolutely stunning. But that's all for this one, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed. Leave me a comment down below and let me know. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy the video. If you didn't, you can always thumbs it down. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave if you haven't already. Until then, I hope you stay safe, be healthy, and be kind. Bye.